Dear Leo, radiant soul of the zodiac, welcome to Eternal Mindfulness. You didn't land on this video by coincidence. You were led here by divine timing, drawn by something deep within you that knows a powerful financial shift is coming, and it's going to change everything. This week, from June 21st through the 29th, the energy around you is stirring in extraordinary ways. The universe is aligning not just opportunities but real breakthroughs to meet your boldest desires. And today, I'm here to guide you through this exact moment, a turning point for your abundance, your self-worth, and the way you show up to claim what's meant for you. But first, take a deep breath with me. If you're comfortable, gently place your hand over your heart. Now inhale slowly. And exhale. Imagine a golden current flowing into your body, not just energy, but possibility. Imagine it warming every cell, every thought, and every belief you hold about money, success, and your place in the world. Because Leo, something is shifting. The Wheel of Fortune, a symbol of destiny and divine motion, has appeared again and again for your sign. And when that happens, it's never subtle. It means you're standing on the edge of a new cycle, one that wants to pour unexpected blessings and financial upgrades into your life. But here's the key: you must be ready to receive. That's why this video isn't just a prediction, it's a mirror, a map, and a moment of realignment. You'll discover how energy, intention, and action are coming together in your favor. You'll hear guidance not just for your bank account but for your voice, your leadership, your confidence, and your power to attract more than you've ever imagined. So let me ask you this, Leo: what did you do this week? What thought, what act of courage, what silent hope called this video into your life today? Because something did. Whether it was clarity, desperation, curiosity, or quiet faith, it worked. And you're here now, which means your energy is already in motion. Take a moment and drop a comment to affirm it. Say, "I am ready to receive my breakthrough." This small act opens a doorway not just between you and me, but between your spirit and the universe itself. And before we go any further, I want to take a moment to thank you deeply, sincerely, for being here. Every like, every comment, every subscription you offer helps grow this space, not just as a channel but as a family. You are the reason we can keep sharing messages of alignment and awakening with the world. Your support doesn't go unnoticed, it's the heartbeat behind Eternal Mindfulness. And Leo, I promise you this: what's about to unfold in the rest of this reading is nothing short of divine. So stay with me until the very end, because this week, destiny is speaking directly to you. Let's begin. As we gently continue from the call to presence in the introduction, the first energy that rises like the morning sun is that of the Wheel of Fortune, a card that doesn't whisper, but arrives with undeniable momentum. Its presence marks not a simple prediction, but a cosmic invitation to shift. This week, Leo, you are not chasing change. You are being chosen for it. The Wheel of Fortune turns not randomly, but with sacred rhythm, and its landing in your reading signals that destiny is making room for you to receive a breakthrough, especially in the realm of finances, personal value, and abundance. The number 10 tied to this card holds profound symbolic weight. In numerology, 10 represents both the completion of one cycle and the courageous start of another. The 1 is pure creative energy, and the 0 is the void possibility, the blank canvas before the stroke of inspiration. Together, they say, it's time. Time to close the door on outdated patterns of scarcity, and to step forward as the co-creator of a new reality. If you've been feeling like something has been preparing itself just beyond the surface, this is the week where the veil lifts. But let's go deeper, because energy like this isn't about wishful thinking. The universe doesn't deliver abundance as a reward for being lucky. It responds to alignment. It responds to clarity. And it responds to those who are willing to see themselves as already worthy of what they desire. That's why, right now, it's essential to pause and get intentional. Write down 3 financial desires, not vague wishes, but clear, honest aspirations that light something inside you. Then hold them gently in your heart and speak the words, "Money flows to me easily and continuously." Don't say it to beg for it. Say it to remember that you are already connected to that current. You don't need to fight the river. You only need to stop blocking it. Notice the colors that support you this week: golden shimmer and silvery blue. These are not just aesthetic tones, they hold frequency. Gold reminds your nervous system of radiance, royalty, and deserving. Silver blue soothes the mind, brings in clear thinking, and invites wisdom in financial decisions. Surround yourself with these tones, whether it's a candle, a journal, a garment, or even a digital background. Let them remind you of who you are becoming. The astrological timing only affirms this sacred moment. With the sun, your ruling planet, casting its light across your financial houses, particularly the 2nd and 8th hit, activates themes of income, personal resources, shared wealth, and energetic exchange. This is an ideal time to review your beliefs around money, to reassess your skills, and to welcome new streams of prosperity, even those that may come through unexpected collaborations, inheritance, or inner transformation. What you have earned is catching up with you, and what you've been quietly preparing for is finally ready to take form. Yet perhaps the most important aspect of this moment is your inner posture. In many wisdom traditions, there's a gentle teaching: when the hand lets go of fear, it opens to receive. This is not about religious thinking, but universal insight. Fear contracts. Gratitude expands. Clinging tightens the body, trust softens it. If you've held the belief that money is hard to earn or wealth is for others, this is your chance to let it go, not in anger, but in peace. In its place, say softly, "I am a magnet for prosperity." Not as a spell, but as a reflection of your evolving truth. You are not being asked to prove yourself, Leo. You are being asked to remember yourself. To remember that abundance isn't a stranger you must chase, it's a rhythm you must learn to dance with. This week, the rhythm is here. The wheel has turned. And you, dear Leo, are standing exactly where you need to be to receive what is already yours. From where we just left off, the wheel turning, the golden light pouring in, it becomes clear that this moment isn't only about receiving abundance. It's also about creating a container sturdy enough to hold it. Prosperity may be on its way, Leo, but the question the universe is now whispering to you is, are you truly prepared to receive what you've asked for? Because if the answer is yes, then it's time to turn inspiration into intention and intention into strategy. This is where the energy of the 7 of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles enters with quiet precision. These cards, while gentle in tone, carry a powerful message. Sustainable wealth requires more than hope. It needs clarity. It needs structure. And perhaps most importantly, it needs discernment, knowing which relationships, opportunities, and efforts are truly aligned with your long-term vision, and which ones are merely distractions dressed as possibilities. Leo, you are a natural-born leader. You shine in front of the crowd, you light up the room, and your heart beats with courageous fire. But as radiant as your presence is, even the brightest star requires an orbit, a rhythm, a system, a pattern of motion that supports its shine. And in the financial realm, that means building a real plan. Not just vague intentions, but commitments. Where will your energy go? How will your resources be used? What steps are you taking today that will echo into your future? There's a quiet wisdom that says, those who tend the soil are the ones who eventually taste the fruit. Your financial garden is asking to be tended not with rush or stress, but with loving consistency. That's why this is the perfect time to begin something I like to call your wealth journal. Every morning or evening, take just a few minutes to write down 3 things you're grateful for, not necessarily related to money, but anything that expands your heart. Then write 1 smart financial action you're willing to take that day. It could be as small as reviewing your budget, learning something new about investing, or simply resisting an impulse purchase. These micro acts, repeated with care, begin to rewire your relationship with money from the inside out. Here's something you may not know. Scientific studies have shown that writing down your goals increases your chances of achieving them by over 40%. But when those goals are tied to emotion like gratitude, their power amplifies exponentially. It's not the act of writing alone that changes things, it's the presence of awareness behind it. The same awareness you're cultivating here, right now. Think of it like this: a stream flows more smoothly when its path is cleared. Planning is not about control, it's about flow. When you plan with clarity, you don't tighten your grip on life. You simply give your energy a direction. And when your energy knows where to go, it arrives faster, more powerfully, and with less resistance. The colors guiding you this week, earthy browns and deep navy blues, are not random. Brown reminds you to root your goals in realism, to stay grounded and patient. Navy brings in the energy of order, structure, and trust in the process. Let these shades show up in your environment this week. Wear them, decorate with them, let them gently anchor your intentions. And finally, I want you to sit with this question. If you received a large sum of money today, something unexpected, abundant, and free, what would you do with it? Not just what would you buy, but how would you allocate it? How would you treat it? Who would you become in the presence of that wealth? These answers will teach you more about your readiness than any outside advice ever could. Because in truth, Leo, wealth isn't just something you hold. It's something you become through rhythm, through choice, through quiet commitment. The seeds you plant today with thought, with writing, with courage are the ones that will bloom in the season to come. Let's keep planting. Now that we've established clarity and momentum through planning, another layer of this journey begins to rise, and it comes not from outside opportunity, but from the deep fire within you. Leo, something ancient and powerful is being awakened this week, something that perhaps you felt simmering below the surface for a while. It's the energy of leadership, not the kind granted by title or status, but the kind that flows from alignment, presence, and a genuine willingness to shine so that others may see more clearly. The Queen of Pentacles paired with the energy of leadership is no coincidence. She is the embodiment of someone who is both grounded and radiant, capable of nurturing what she builds while also guiding others with grace. And when this archetype shows up in your chart, it doesn't just suggest that you're ready to take the lead. It asks, are you ready to believe that your story, your perspective, and your voice hold value not someday, but now? In this moment, Leo, you're being asked to look beyond what you've been taught about waiting for permission. You don't need the perfect platform, the most followers, or a flawless message. You need only to stand where you are, speak what is true for you, and allow the power of your presence to ripple outward. Whether it's through social media, creative expression, coaching, conversation, or quiet acts of service, your essence is already magnetic. The world doesn't need a polished version of you, it needs the real version of you, showing up with sincerity and conviction. Leadership is not about having all the answers. It's about being anchored enough in yourself that others feel safe to explore their own truths. And often, the most impactful leaders are those who lead not from ego, but from integrity. They don't raise their voices to be heard, they deepen their silence so others can hear themselves. In that space, your Leo fire becomes less about performance and more about warmth. Less about being center stage and more about lighting the path. This is also where numerology brings a gentle affirmation. The numbers 1 and 3 vibrating strongly for you now represent new beginnings and bold expression. The number 1 is about initiation, the courage to begin. The number 3 carries the energy of creativity, communication, and joyful connection. Together, they encourage you to not only start, but to share. To speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. To take the first step, even if the full path isn't visible. To trust that expression itself is a form of transformation. You may be surprised at how many people have been waiting to hear exactly what you have to say in the way only you can say it. But even more than that, you may find that by sharing, you heal something in yourself. In many contemplative traditions, there is a quiet teaching: what we give fully, we receive more deeply. When you offer your truth without attachment to outcome, you are not depleted. You are renewed. Because in that moment, you are aligned with your purpose. Surround yourself this week with the color ruby red, a hue that embodies passion, courage, and rooted power. Let it remind you of the vitality you carry within you, and the steady flame that never flickers when you are true to yourself. You don't need to become a leader. You already are. This week is simply about remembering that. So take a moment and reflect. Is there a message, a story, or even a small piece of truth you've been carrying in your heart, waiting for the right time to share? Maybe that time is now. Drop a comment if something is stirring within you. Your words might be the spark that lights someone else's fire. And more than that, it may be the moment you fully realize you were never meant to stay quiet. You were meant to rise. Just as the call to leadership has begun to rise within you, so too does the awareness that your true power isn't only found in how you lead others, it's rooted in how you direct yourself. Leo, this week you stand at the intersection of potential and purpose, and two archetypes walk beside you now: the Page of Pentacles and the Magician. Together, they represent a sacred beginning. One whispers of curiosity and grounded effort, the other of mastery through focus. But both carry the same gentle truth: you already have everything you need. The question is, where will you place your attention? Your mind, when scattered, is like sunlight through fog, soft but unfocused. Beautiful, yes, but unable to ignite. But when you harness that light, when your thoughts begin to move with clarity in one direction, then something shifts. Ideas become motion. Vision becomes momentum. And the universe, no longer receiving mixed signals, can finally reflect back your intention in form. This is why focus is not a rule, but a ritual. It's not about restriction, it's about alignment. This week, you are invited to choose one direction, one desire, one goal. It doesn't need to be massive. It only needs to matter. What is something that has been quietly calling your attention, asking to be built, nurtured, expressed? Maybe it's a financial project, a skill you've wanted to deepen, a habit you've been postponing. Whatever it is, treat it as sacred. Make a commitment not to be perfect, but to be present with it every single day, even if just for 15 minutes. This act alone reshapes your reality, because you're not just working toward a result. You're training your awareness to stay rooted in what you value. There is an old teaching that says, what the mind touches constantly, the heart begins to believe. This is the quiet power behind affirmations, not as magic words, but as mirrors that help rewire the way we speak to ourselves. When we say something often enough, we begin to embody it. That's why this week, I invite you to create your own personal mantra sentence that connects your financial intentions with your integrity and gifts. You might begin with something like, I am becoming wealthier each day through my honesty and talents. Then, say it aloud. Not out of pressure, but as an offering. Speak it gently, each morning in front of the mirror, not to force results but to shape belief. The color guiding you this week is silver-violeta, fusion of insight and magnetism. Silver enhances perception, violet awakens inner vision. Combined, they support the quiet alchemy of turning thought into reality. Surround yourself with this color where possible, perhaps through a candle, fabric, or background, and allow it to remind you of the subtle intelligence you already carry. You don't need to push. You need to attune. And yet, even with all this momentum, the greatest challenge might not be distraction from outside deep, may be the inner voice that doubts your ability to follow through. If that voice rises, meet it gently. There's no need to suppress it or argue with it. Simply acknowledge it and return to your practice. Just as a river remains steady by flowing around stones, your mind will remain powerful by learning to move beyond resistance without losing direction. This is not about doing more. This is about doing what matters with a clear and steady presence. And in that, Leo, you become the true magician, not someone who manipulates the world to their will, but someone who learns to direct energy through devotion. This is how real change occurs, not overnight, but through daily, conscious participation in the life you're choosing to create. Let your thoughts be focused, your actions be deliberate, and your faith be quiet but unwavering. The magic isn't somewhere out there. It's already unfolding within you. As we move through the layers of purpose and intention, there's a quieter truth beginning to rise, and it has less to do with what you're creating and more to do with how you're holding yourself in the process. Because no matter how focused your energy may be, and no matter how clearly you commit to your goals, nothing blossoms in full until the relationship you have with yourself becomes soft, rooted, and real. This week, Leo, the energy of love, genuine, unforced, internal love is stepping forward. And not just romantic love, but the kind that rewrites the way you see yourself and invites the outside world to mirror that clarity back to you. The appearance of the Lovers, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Cups is not about fantasy or drama, it's about alignment. These cards ask one thing of you: are you showing up for yourself the way you wish someone else would? The Queen of Wands doesn't chase attention, she simply is. She's bold, warm, magnetic, not because she seeks validation, but because she honors what makes her different. Her power is in her authenticity. The King of Cups, on the other hand, holds emotional depth without drowning in it. He embodies stability, patience, and wise compassion, especially toward himself. Together, they show you that the most fulfilling relationships, whether with others or within, are built not from performance but from presence. This is a powerful week to gently examine the emotional habits that have shaped your connections. Have you been waiting for someone else to affirm your worth? Or have you been offering yourself the kind of respect, attention, and softness that you desire to receive? The more consistently we show up for ourselves, the more naturally the right people, those who speak our language of integrity and joy, find their way to us. It's not magic, it's resonance. If you're single, don't be surprised if a connection arises through something fresh, a new environment, project, or space where your creative or professional energy is fully expressed. When you're engaged in what you love, your energy becomes clearer, and people feel drawn to your light without even knowing why. And if you're in a relationship, this week invites you to bring playfulness back into the connection, not through grand gestures, but through shared time, thoughtful listening, or even simply asking, what are we creating together that feels exciting? Whether alone or partnered, though, the heart of this energy lies in self-acknowledgement. Take a moment this week to write down 5 things you're genuinely proud of, not things others have praised, but things that made you feel quietly strong, aligned, or kind. These are the seeds of self-love that require no applause to grow. And as a gentle teaching reminds us, when you no longer abandon yourself, the world stops abandoning you too. It's not a lesson in control, it's a reminder of cause and effect, of how presence becomes invitation. The color frequencies guiding you now: earthy orange and soft rose peach, are deeply attuned to the heart and the lower chakras. Earthy orange keeps you grounded in desire and sensual connection, while rose peach opens your capacity to receive affection with ease. Wear these colors, surround yourself with them, or even use them in small rituals throughout your day. Let them act as quiet signals to the body that you are safe to be open, that your needs matter, and that love begins inside before it ever arrives outside. You shine brightest, Leo, not when you reach for love, but when you remember that you are the source of it. This week is your reminder. Let the emotional waters within you become calm, honest, and nourishing. Let your fire burn not for attention, but for clarity. And as you move through the days ahead, notice how your outer world responds when your inner world becomes rooted in quiet self-respect. This is the frequency that draws the right people, the right moments, and the kind of love that doesn't just feel good but lasts. As we reach the final moments of this journey together, I want you to pause and take one more deep breath, slow, conscious, and full of trust. Let it settle through your chest like sunlight softening into the horizon. This isn't just the end of a video. It's a threshold. A quiet invitation to not just understand what you've heard, but to begin living it. Because this week, dear Leo, is not only about money, breakthroughs, or success, though yes, they are coming. It's about you stepping into the truest version of yourself, the one who doesn't wait for permission, signs, or the perfect timing. It's about becoming the person who chooses to move forward, simply because you know the time is now. You've seen throughout this reading that the signs are not just aligning around you, they're waking up within you. From financial planning to focused intention, from self-leadership to emotional nourishment, the universe has placed everything you need within reach. But it's no longer about wishing. It's about acting. That's how real transformation begins, not in one giant leap, but in the daily devotion to small, clear steps. So let me ask you, Leo, what would happen if you actually did what you know is calling you? What might shift if you stayed focused on just one intention each day this week? What if you finally allowed yourself to believe that your voice, your desires, your leadership, and yes, your abundance are valid, needed, and ready to rise? Too often, we think of change as something that happens to us. But you, Leo, were never meant to be passive. You were born under the fire of the sun for a reason. You don't wait for opportunity, you create it. And this week is your canvas. Every morning is a new brushstroke. You already hold the colors, the vision, and the energy to paint something extraordinary. Maybe the next step is writing in your wealth journal. Maybe it's saying your affirmation aloud for 7 days straight. Maybe it's finally launching that project you've been thinking about, or simply being kinder to yourself in the moments no one else sees. Whatever it is, choose it with love. Stay consistent. Let your actions remind the universe that you are ready to receive what you've been preparing for all along. And if any part of this message resonated with you today, I want to invite you to anchor it into your reality by taking one simple step. Comment below and say, I welcome my biggest breakthrough this week. Not just for me, but for you. Let it be your declaration, your energetic handshake with the future that's already on its way to you. Before we part for now, let me take a moment to thank you truly and deeply for being here. For your presence. For your energy. Every like, every comment, every subscription you share supports this growing family we're building here at Eternal Mindfulness. You're not just a viewer. You're a co-creator in this space of clarity, healing, and transformation. And your support is what allows these messages to keep flowing to those who need them most. So if you found value in this journey, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss what the universe is sending your way. Your presence means more than you know. And Leo, promise me this. Stay until the end of your own story this week. Be patient with the process. Be loyal to your light. And above all, trust that everything you're seeking is also seeking you. The door has already appeared. All you have to do is walk through it. Until next time, take care of your energy, protect your focus, and keep showing up like the sun that you are. I'll see you in the next message.